And once we've loaded in, I'm going to be very excited to see how it plays out. I think we actually have, we are actually ready to jump into Summoner's Rift for our first game today for the SIBOL 2022 National Team Selection.
30
And
seconds
it is
till
going to be
minions spawn.
indeed Orgless on the blue side here with MGS on the red side. Just the lines of battle have been drawn, no big invades. And this is going to be what sets the stage for the rest of this best of three.
Yeah, and now that they're starting, very typical for both of our sides to be going for that, just waiting. They don't want to go for engages because, you know, this is the best of three. So whoever slips up one, you're down one already. So that is going to be hard. And the best of three, at least it's still easy to turn around if you lose one. But losing one still is just gonna give you two more games for you to get the win. So medyo mahirap talaga mag-comeback if ever. Medyo madali mag-comeback pero you won't want that, diba? Ayaw mo rin naman matalo ng isa on a best of three.
Best of threes are really about momentum eh. Even if in theory mas madaling makapag-comeback kasi you win one, right? You win one and then you're even. It's basically a reset.
Yeah.
Pero sobrang dali na yung unang game mo, you get crushed so hard that in the second game you can't recover. So that's what you have to avoid here. With both junglers starting on the opposite sides of the map, the priorities are going to be different here, just going straight to the red buffs. Let's see how Mapua Gaming Society Eric's here is going to help out that Camille top side. You basically get one kill, even though it's kind of a lane where Camille can just farm the Ornn. You definitely want to help accelerate the game plan for your Camille.
Yeah, what I like about both of these mid laners is that they don't really need to fight each other because they really need to get those items first before they become relevant. And 3-item relevancy is just a hard time. You just need to chill out. So we're just waiting for both of our junglers, which are both on opposite sides of the map, full clearing their jungles. So we're not gonna be seeing they're not gonna be seeing each other in a while or so. And later on pa magkakaroon ng laban, maybe in the top lane at 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the case here as well. And in this bot lane, once again, we're not going to be seeing a lot of action here. Both of these lanes can be relatively safe. Leomar can just stay in the back, last hit using the rockets. That basically pushes back the lane as well as MGS no doubt wants to just push in and get the lane advantage here and set up for the Drake for Irix here. And it's going to be, just him chilling, being able to set up that dominance in the bot lane. Let's see how Eagle can actually face against us. He's about to finish his full clear here. He wants to rush that level 6. We're going to see how he kind of responds to this bot lane pressure here later in the next few minutes.
Yeah, what I like about most of our champions right now is that they're not really they're really playing it safe. It's 3 minutes in the game, so we're not going to be expecting anything too fancy for both of our sides. It's just that when it comes to the composition, I really like that Tefsu and Admit went with the Lux Ezreal because they lost the Karma early on. If it was the Karma, it might be more domineering, but Lux is not better, but Lux is okay.
Yeah, not usually what I think of when I say, when you say like support, right, that wants to set up that Ezreal. It's definitely present a little bit, but it's been kind of flip-floppy in performance in the pro scene as well. So that's one thing that you can be concerned about. But in this specific matchup here, where you have the Ezreal, you have the Corki, you can set up a really nice siege going on later in the game. I feel like it's in theme for this comp. And what they just have to avoid here is Masat's Thresh. Once you get the death sentence in, this lane does not have a lot going for it. Like Defsu can maybe get the Arcane Shift away, but Admit's pretty much just dead in the water if he gets hooked.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard time here, especially in the bot lane. And Leomar doesn't have a lot of potential to go for a gank or for a kill here because, you know, Jinx doesn't have a lot of damage early on in the game. But if Hecarim comes in and the death sentence from Abasa would hit, that is gonna be good for their team. They might be able to get some kills, actually accelerate the power spike of Leomar. But it's not gonna happen anytime soon because look at this, both of our junglers are still going for it. They're really going for that angle. Oh, top lane though.
Yeah, the flash here. Kaito does have the flash, but not a lot of follow-up here. But the Bellows Breath enough to finish him off. The hook shot was not there to get the escape. And their first blood goes to Kaito here, playing that lane right, getting those trades out in his favor. And Shadow Blitz losing one over there, or dying once. is going to be a big hit onto this Camille's momentum on the top side. So as we look at the smart replay here, there's not much. It's basically the Shadow Blitz not having the right tool for the job up at that time.
Yeah, at this point, this is kind of normal. Yeah, Kaito winning the top lane because he's an Ornn. Later on, Shadow Blitz will probably have some damage, but it's a good thing that Kaito is using his early game advantage, especially that he's super tanky. True damage at this point, not really that strong, and he's using it to his advantage right now.
Pretty much. And here, once again, I think the biggest action that we're going to see here is now that Basa and Leomark have set up their own dominance here, they're okay, we're level 4, we can scrap it out with you. Your poke, we can try and trade it back now that we have the lane priority here. We can pick up the fruits, and we try and set up for a Drake here once we have Ego in the house, but they're going to get Pincer here. Immediately flashes over with a death sentence. Irix, a little bit of trouble here at mid. One more hit. Basa finishes off the kill here. That's going to be him being finished off there by Devsu, and now he's next on the chopping block. That zap is going to hit here. The minions are blocking him.
No.
Do they have enough damage to go through for that second kill? Looks like Ego's going to be able to rampage through and get the kill. Tramples over everything there, and that's going to be an easy bunch of kills there for Orgless, immediately setting them up for the Drake.
Wow, that was good, especially for the way that they played that out. We said a while ago that if the Thresh gets the death sentence, gets a play on the right targets, they would be winning the fight, and that they did. They did that, and Ego was able to rampage through the whole fight. He was able to get the kills. The damage probably during that whole fight was whole Ego. Because of the way that the damage works for him in the early game, it worked with him. Now, with that, they might be able to set up the Drake, or at least some of them have some items to work with before the Drake fight happens.
Yeah, I do want to give props to Basa though, right? Because they were about to get pincered by Irix here. Def soon admit we're going for the pincer attack, but Basa was like, okay, we're gonna get ganked here. We're gonna get 3v2'd. Let's try and rearrange the battle lines, right? He went for the hook, and that pretty much changed the whole fight. Where Leomark just flashes over. Now it's gonna be a straight 3v3 with Admit already having been hooked. And that was huge and allowed Ego to basically pop off, and Leomark is what to pick up those kills. There's a pretty big momentum boost here for Orgless, and that's what this comp wants.
Oh man, that was really good for him. Oh, that sentence.
Yeah, they're not level 6 right here, but that's going to be the final smart guessing indeed. Go immediately for Arcane Shift onto Leomark, but it's going to be a marksman for support trade. Here comes Ego. Even goes for the stopwatch just for safety. Now Ego's going to come in. Depps is going to have his Arcane Shift up very soon, but it's not going to be enough here as Ego finishes him up for another kill, and that's what you do not want to see. A snowballing Hecarim is going to kick this game into high gear, and he's going to be speeding up in this game.
Yeah, he's probably going to be zooming all around the map later on. It's a good thing. I mean, so far in the meta right now, but before that, let us take out this smart replay. Look at how they played this out. It's just like Leomark is just trying to do some damage. That hook from Basa was enough for them to turn the tides around, because they know that Ego is here anyway. But let's go for it. Let's go and take the kill. Now, weird for us right now is that MGS is taking the initiative on taking the Ocean Blade.
They do trade back the Drake here, and it was the first Drake. They didn't actually pick it up on after picking up the first 3 kills earlier. They do give it to Mapua, but I do think that Orgless is fine with it. It's Ocean Drake, right? And I think in the game plan of Orgless, okay lang. Kunin mo yung Ocean Drake, it's just one stack of Ocean Drake. It's not gonna be big enough. In our game plan, in the Orgless game plan, hindi siya malaking factor para sa Orgless. Meanwhile, Mapua, they want... This is actually good for Mapua if they can keep up the Drakes consistently later. They have the comp that can really go into the late game here and get those sieges up. So if they can consistently get more Drakes, that might actually bite Orgless in the back lane.
Yeah, definitely. That's really what they need though. The Ocean Drake to at least help out their laners. Right now, their lanes are having a hard time, so getting that extra sustain would be very healthy for them.
A little bit of an overprotection there from Basa with the death sentence. Okay lang yun. They do lose a lot of HP here. Ego is nowhere to be found here. So they have to play a little bit more conservatively here to get their potions up. They still have heal. May ignite pa rin dito si Basa. So if ever the Depsu and Admit tries to go for an all-in, it's possible if they get a light binding. They can go for the ignite and just turn and trade back a kill anyway. But for now, they're gonna get pushed into their turret. Ego is right around the corner as well. They go for the lantern, and immediately Admin and Devs is like, I'm out of here. But in comes the ulti from Ego, still coming through, pushes him out of the Super Mega Death Rocket. And it's not going to be enough to go for the kill here, but this basically turns the tides of this lane. Now, Leomark and Basa are going to be the ones pushing in. Ego's right around the corner. Eric's here. I think he tried to go for something mid lane, but didn't get anything from Duckman. And that is just going to be giving Leomark and Basa an opportunity to back off and get that gold spec.
Yeah, definitely. What I like about the Ego playstyle is that what they want to do here, honestly, is just to let Ego go for the bot lane, try to snowball that. Later on, we'll probably get some objectives. They're putting the eggs in the right basket. Investing in Leomark is really what they need because he's the damage source that they need. But oh, hi Rex.
I think Luckman's gonna be, she should be fine here, right? The flash is over, but no, it is going to be early picking up the kill with Iris here. It is gonna be a 2v3 as Basa and Ego have to run away. Final Spark is not gonna hit here, but a shutdown for Italy is gonna be huge for this team. Corky being given a shutdown means that Ego momentum is stopped, and Italy is able to build up his own gas in that engine. Teleport here coming in for Shadow Blitz just to try and absorb the wave here. Not looking good for this top lane, but if Early can get some roams out once the package comes up, this should be big.
Yeah, that was what I was waiting for, to break the stability in the mid lane, because that Duckman and Ireli were just farming their way out in the mid lane since a while ago. But because of how Irix did it, they now have an advantage. Having the Corky get an advantage in the mid lane fight, he would probably have more damage compared to Duckman even later on in the game. So this is really good for Mapua Gaming Society, jump-starting their disadvantage a while ago.
Oh, nice attempt. There actually hits the hook at that point. Final Spark gonna deal a lot of damage here, but the minigun hit is gonna pick up the kill. Basa actually picks it up. Another 80 support play here with Leomark actually on the back foot there. So I think Nepsu's a little bit happy with that. Duckman forces to teleport out of early. And so far, it's been a very big back and forth, but once Ego's recovered from that first death, he's still 3 kills, right? So he should still have gas in that engine to get that horsepower going for his team.
And it's really working in their favor. MGS are just really going for that. And we said a while ago that they're going to be having the advantage in lane, even though that they have been ganked again and again. So now Defsu and Admit are fighting back, and they're really going for it right now because the mana meters is probably built onto Ezreal. It's really easy to do some damage.
And for now, though, there's this little bit of a stalemate where, okay, they're pretty much waiting for either a big opportunity, like someone overextends, they can go for a push, maybe get the first that first turret, or for one of the big objectives coming up, which we see is going to be the next Drake coming up in the next 2 minutes or so. That's going to be where they're going to be saving their ultimates. And I think Leomark should have heal at that point. But the rest of the summoners are pretty off here. Basa doesn't have his flashing knife for that fight. Meanwhile, MGS still has a few of their tools in their pockets for that inevitable Drake fight.
Ooh, they're gonna get the playthings in the bot lane. That's gonna be good for them, especially for Ego, getting that bigger chunk of that playthings in the bot lane. And now they're securing the dragon. And this is really what they needed to do since a while ago. I mean, it's a Mountain Drake. It's gonna go good for their composition because they have a lot of tanky members. So getting this, MGS doesn't need to give this to them, because if they do, they're gonna be having lots of problems later on because this boys are gonna be more tanky.
Yeah, they weren't able to leverage the Rift Herald too much to secure that Drake. It is a Drake that takes quite some time, more than Infernal, more than Ocean. So this does mean that Mapua Gaming Society is able to leverage their power here in the early start. They do stop it. They do get threatened here by Ego. Have to respect the Onslaught of Shadows. They're still trying to complete it as well. But one hook, no follow-up. It's too risky. This is a pretty bad formation here from Orgless, and it is going to be the Drake being secured by Orgless here. But Mapua Gaming Society is able to get a kill onto Duckman. They rearrange the battle lines here. Leomark trying to go for the kills, does get it. Ego gonna try and kill Depths, does get the auto attack before the flash. And Ego taking over 4 for 3. And that is gonna be huge here for Orgless. Big fight.
Wow, a 4 for 2. That's really big. Ego was just there in front of everyone, disrupting the positioning from the side of MGS. That is really what the playstyle is. We said that a while ago that most of the time, Orgless would go for a fight every time that they can because they would. But look at this top lane though.
I do think it is going to be nice iframes on the Hextech ultimatum. Can he survive the minions though? No, here comes Ego. Oh no. In the end, it's going to be a 1-for-1. I do think that's just pretty much even, but feeding more gas into the Ego engine is going to be so much better than putting a little bit of gas in the Shadow Blitz engine here from the Gaming Society. And going back to that Drake fight, at first I was like, oh no, hindi maganda yung position ni Leomark ni Basa. Medyo hiwalay sila sa team nila. And that's why hindi makapag-follow up si Leomark dun sa hook ni Basa kasi you know, dalawa lang sila. If they go in on that, that's just a signal from Mapua Gaming Society to just jump down to the bottom side of that fight, take out the backline, and then 5v or 4v3 against Kaito in the squad. But since Orgless basically just let Ego just go straight in and get the attention of MGS, Leomark was able to, okay, let's once again rearrange the battle lines. Let's use the Onslaught of Shadows to make it a good front-to-back fight for us instead of for MGS.
Yeah, what I like about that is even though they have the package during that fight, they weren't able to leverage it to divide the fight. If MGS used that to divide the fight more, Orgless wouldn't have a way para magkasama-sama sila during that fight. And again, another member, Admit here.
Oh no. There was not much there. Like, Admit didn't have flash, didn't have anyone to help him out here. And that's pretty much a free kill, catching that support out of position. This should mean a turret here being taken by Orgless. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Defsu cannot afford to stay there, which means a lot of the bottom side, the bottom territories here of this jungle, pretty much Orgless is marking their territory. They're putting down control wards at that point. They get the first turret of the game. And this is going to start snowballing very, very soon if Mapua Gaming Society cannot respond to this. Oh no, that's not a good place to recall Defsu. He's still going to try and go for the escape here, but Ego, he's fed enough that he can face tank a couple turret hits to go for the dive. And that's pretty much them playing around Ego right now. But Leomark is pretty much riding the wave. He's not the star of the show, but later he's going to be popping off there just from all the gold he's building up.
Probably at this point, there's already 2 items in the bag of Ego on the items that he has right now. Because looking at the damage that he did there, especially for Defsu, he just crumbled down. Defsu didn't even have the chance there. Look at that. He already has the death stand, so that's just going to be hard for them to deal with. Especially if they snowball, if they get a lot of kills. Considering that they have a lot of squishy members here for the side of MGS, it's going to be easy to use this death stance in their favor.
Yeah, and with the changes to Death Stance, it's since I think that was 12.3, right? Death Stance changes, where instead of just physical damage, all types of damage being mitigated and then being received as true damage after. So this is actually really big here for Hecarim, and lets him just go straight in and be better against mixed damage such as Lux, Ezreal, and Corki, especially Corki, and just lets him face tank so much more before, it allows him to build up those rampage stacks as well. And when he gets a kill, instead of being max health being restored, it's now bonus AD, right? So this is actually really, really big here. Nice prediction there by Basa, a little bit short in range, but this basically means that Ego is similar to Leomark, where if he gets 1 kill in a team fight, I think it's pretty much over for MGS because he can just keep snowballing and keep resetting from that with death stats.
Yeah, it's really super hard to fight against, especially that Ego is super fed, considering that the amount of gold that he has is probably bigger than almost everyone here on MGS. It's gonna be hard to leverage that. Now, looking at how MGS are positioning themselves, they want to get the tower. They got the Refeld a while ago, so they want to leverage this in their favor to at least gain some more ground for themselves.
Very, very close there. He actually goes for a flash play. In comes Ego from the side with the Orn Horn. And that is going to be Ego going for the stationary ulti to go straight for Shadow Blitz. Take out that variable. In comes a death sentence to set up the kill though. And Basa sacrifices his life for his team. Can they go for the dive? They're going straight for it. All in. Pedal to the metal. Ego taking them out. picking up the kills, resetting with his death stance, and now she's gonna be eerily left to try and defend. Duckman's surviving with a sliver of HP, doesn't matter. Orgless picks up the mid turret, more kills for themselves, and MGS is left reeling after that charge.
Wow, that is a 4-for-1. That looked sloppy in the earlier stages of that fight because Basa's death sentence wasn't able to hit, but the second one though was able to, and that's what sealed the deal for them.
Walang tigil eh. Okay, hindi tumama yung death sentence. Sige, flash inflay ako. Yun, that's the kind of Chad that Basa is, no? Like, alam niya na kahit hindi tumama yung death sentence, hindi pa tapos yung opportunity na meron yung team nila. Kasi alam niya na si Ego papunta na doon, tumatakbo na siya, kabayo, na sobrang bilis. And he gets that. He sets up the pretty much a team fight for his squad. And that allows Orgless to continue snowballing here and accelerating their game plan. And this is gonna be tough here with Baron being up and Leomark being fed as well, like riding the coattails of Ego's success. They can pretty much take this if MGS isn't careful.
Yeah, and yun na nga, yun na nga ginagawa talaga nila dito. Get the advantage, let them have the break or anger. Yun yung ginagawa lang nila dito. I really forced to use that package. Not even through an objective kasi wala pa silang objective at this point in the game. So, Orgless are just using their clash power every time that they can. Talagang ginagamit lang nila in their favor because they have a lot of AoEs anyway. I was waiting for Mapua Gaming Society to chunk down muna before they go for a fight.
And there, parang may sinubukan dito yung MGS mid, but may escape route naman dun si, I believe that was Leomark at that point. And they've gotten both Rift Heralds here in this game. Orgless got the first Herald, but now Mapua Gaming Society with his first Herald, with their own Herald here, it's not gonna be big impact. It didn't get any plates. Parang nag-donate lang sila ng gold tsaka EXP para sa mga mid lane, nasa mid lane dito ng Orgless. Yes, it kind of softens up the turret itself, but the thing at this stage of the game, past 20 minutes, if you're alone with a turret, it doesn't matter if it's at like 70% or 30% or 20% health, you're probably gonna take it, right? And gold bounties are active here for Mapua Gaming Society, but it doesn't change the fact that it's the Herald doesn't really do anything for them, actually detrimental to them. And that stage of the game here, so let's see how they can recover from this. This is still a team doesn't have a very solid front line, no? Shadow Blitz and Eric's, they're not really the tanks, the bastions that they usually are, especially with Gordbrinker being built here for Irix, and of course Shadow Blitz has to go for Divine Sunderer here, which means that they actually don't have a solid front line to back up the poke backline that they have.
Yeah, yun na nga eh. We said that a while ago because they already have a lot of damage in recomposition. Yes, MGS would have a lot, yes. Pero wala silang front line kaya when it comes to the fights, they don't know how to position themselves, and it's basically what Orgless is doing. They want to disrupt the positioning kasi they don't have anyone to front line anyway, so let's just disrupt the positioning and let's go for this.
Yeah, and this is going to be a little bit of a lull in the middle of this game here. Orgless is pretty much just waiting for either Mapua Gaming to misposition, right? Misposition, and then maybe they can go for a Baron take or a Baron bait, or they just wait for the next objective, the next Drake here, and go fight there and get even more gold as well. So during this lull, let's remember, guys, share natin yung stream natin on SIBOL on all of the platforms that you can. These are going to be the candidates, right? These are basically the candidates for our national representatives for League of Legends. No? So supportahan natin sila, especially if school nyo sila, Mapua Gaming Society for Mapua. And of course, Orgless, a lot of you DLSU peeps probably know them as well. So share natin yung stream, support natin yung mga players natin, because who knows, maybe Orgless or Mapua, these will be the ones to move on and become the national representatives ng SIBOL for the Philippines.
Yeah, and also if you're gonna be sharing, just use our official hashtags. Hashtag muling lumakad matatag and hashtag SIBOL powered by Smart. And yan na nga, everyone. This is gonna be, as Hyron said, this is gonna be the lull in their game. It's really not of a big. I thought it was a bigger advantage here, Hyron, kasi it's 6k gold lead. It's still chaseable. for the side of MGS, they just need to play their cards right. Take the shutdown goals from Orgless whenever they can, especially kay Ego. Sobrang laki na siguro ng shutdown goal kay Ego at this point of the game. So if ever they have a target, try to go front to back. Maybe that would work on your team composition. Just use Irex and Shadow Blitz as a shield. Kasi there's a lot of damage to go through naman with Irali and even Defsu.
Yeah, siguro yun yung eksaktong rason kung bakit hindi sila nagpo-force ng kahit anong team fight or tower dive dito. They know that the shutdown gold is big, and here, Mapua Gaming Society, makakuha sila dito ng gold bounty on the turret because they've been behind. They're really all in here because they know that they can't go for the shutdown on Ego on their own terms, so they're going for other objectives. You know, Orgless, yun nga. Baka yung rason na hindi sila nagpo-pwersa ng tower dive dito is alam nila pag namatay si Ego, sobrang laking gold boost nun. Kung napunta kay Irali, kung napunta kay Defsu, kay Jacob, yung yung gold na yon, napakalaking boost yon para sa scaling ng Mapua Gaming Society. So here again, he's gonna get Horn here with the call of the Forge God. It's gonna be the Rocket missing as well, but gonna get smashed to pieces by that Forge Hammer, and Kaito gonna be picking up that kill. That could be a signal to go for Baron here, no? That's one big hope. Source that MGS doesn't have anymore, and they don't even have to go for the full commit on the Baron here. They can just go here, okay, we're doing Baron, puntahan nyo kami, and then go for the turn immediately because they can't do that. But let's see how MGS responds to this.
Yeah, with this, I think MGS wouldn't even bother going for this. Kasi at this point, they don't have enough damage to work with kasi most of the members of Orgless, they're very tanky at this point of the game, and they're going for the Baron.
Nice one. Yeah, and that's going to be the hook here. Immediately goes for the onslaught of shadows to follow up. That's going to be good traps there, but not going to be able to get that objective down. In Basa once again sacrificing his life to give Leo Mark a kill. They do get the gold bounty bot lane, but since that was pretty much a 5v4, it becomes a 2v3 with the Baron being taken by Orgless, and that could be the signal they need to start for the actual pushes. They can go for now. They can now go for more tower dives with Ego. This is going to be rough. The next few minutes here are going to be rough for the Mapua squad.
Yeah, now that was really rough for them. At least they were able to get some shutdowns, or at least some gold from the kills that they had there. And also, objective bounty in the bot lane, that's going to be good for them. So that's the reason why we're still on the 6k gold lead lang. So Orgless and MGS, even though they got the Baron, they still have some gold to get home with. Kaya medyo stabilized pa rin yung game natin for Mapua Gaming Society. They still have a chance though, if ever later on, he really gets his item, fourth item, probably the Hydra na hinihintay nila kanina pa. That could be the reason that they can turn things around.
Yeah, yung pinakamalaking problema na nakikita ko dito sa comp ng Mapua Gaming Society is yung minention natin kanina na wala silang super solid na bruskong frontline, no? Wala silang team member na may kapasidad na, okay, atayo lang ako dito, I'm gonna be CCing them, I'm going to be tanking their damage, because Irix can't really do that. He does have a little bit of brain tanking with the Gold Drinker, but it's not enough to give Irali and Defsu enough time. And here it's gonna be another fight. A nice kick here. Follow-up is gonna get stopped immediately though. And that's gonna be Leo Mark getting the zap on, gets the alley-oop for his Ego here. That's gonna be the Basco over to give himself some space. Admit kind of run away, but the call of the Forge God gives him the space that he needs. Ego just face hacking this turret. In comes the onslaught of shadows. Look at him just recovering all that HP and never even dies. He's still above half HP. He's gonna go straight for it with his speed. That is going to be a turret takedown very, very fast here. With the Baron up, this could be game. That's 10 seconds in Irix, 20 seconds in Aero Lane Shadow Blitz. Defsu does not have the win here without his ulti, and this could be Orgless taking game one in a flash.